Bradley, I don't know if Pink is going to change her opinion based on what Instagram just told us, but generally, do you think what they have said late today tilts back or tilts the thinking?
Well, thanks for having me. I think it's a step in the right direction. However, it doesn't go far enough. The fact that people had to come out and actually there had to be a huge viral outrage over this really demonstrates that there's a problem out there. And while this is a very positive step, it's too soon to speculate on exactly what the language will be. So I'm hoping that after the language has come out, then there'll be more information available.
Well, for example, if they had taken another step that you might have advised them to take, what would it have been?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's understandable that Facebook wants to monetize as much of its users' data as possible, and this change actually seems to mimic what happened earlier this year with Google, how they ended up changing all their privacy policies to better monetize their users' data. And what I would, if I was in the position to actually advise Instagram and Facebook, I would say, you know what, get a focus group together and find out exactly, take all the comments you found online and try to figure out what would be fair to actually be able to have a monetization plan for the content, but also do something that protects users' privacy and puts them more at ease.
I mean, if it's one or the other, or one more than the other, because out of Instagram, it's basically this is for you and protecting you, the user, more so than the business. At least originally, that was sort of the message that was being sent.
Right, and unfortunately, in the beginning, it was the wrong type of message to be sent. Because at the end of the day, an internet brand is only as good as its user base. And if its user base is very upset over these changes, and there's a lot of people that have come out online that said, you know what, I'm deleting my account, then therefore it's really creating a viral message that people are not interested in keeping their data and their photographs on Instagram. And for someone like myself who actually advises celebrities and high-profile athletes, I've actually told them to watch this very closely because this actually is going to be a so-called experiment for what can possibly be done on Facebook.
Well, let's go through some of the hypotheticals. Say there's a brand like Coke that sees one of these celebrities, maybe one that you work with, is photographed with a Coke. What then, based on what Instagram has put forward here, would, say, Coke be able to do with that?
Well, as far as if Coke ends up trying to monetize a celebrity's name or likeness without the celebrity's permission, there's potential right to publicity claims. And those claims are state claims. And the problem is that once you end up putting your content on Instagram, you agree to their terms of service. So if I was advising a client, I'd say, you know what, be very mindful of this. Whenever you put content up on Instagram or any other site, you got to make sure that you're abiding by their terms of service. So, I mean, it's something that you really have to think about before you end up uploading a photograph on there.
What about for users who are under the age of 18? That was also one of the criticisms about how they will be affected by this. What is your take on that?
I think it's also something that has a lot of concern there because obviously if you're a minor, you have to be aware of the potential problems that could arise if your content gets uploaded and someone tries to monetize your content without your permission. And if for some reason, if the user is under 13, there's potential COPPA violations, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act issues. So I mean, it's something that also the FTC might want to get involved with this because right now the FTC's their agreement with Facebook there's potential violations there. So I mean, it's too soon to tell exactly where this will end up.